All right, let's talk about something we all know way too well. That feeling of drowning in a never-ending to-do list. It's totally overwhelming, right? Well, today, we're going to dig into some of the best ideas out there for finally taming that list, finding your focus, and actually, getting the important stuff done.
This quote from President Eisenhower just nails it. This is the classic trap, isn't it? We spend all day putting out fires, the urgent stuff that screams for our attention, while the things that really matter, the important stuff that builds our future, just get pushed to tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow.
So that's the big question. How do you actually break that cycle? When everything feels loud and important, how do you find the signal in the noise and focus on what you're really meant to be doing? That's exactly what we're going to build a toolkit for, right here, right now.
To get started, we've got to talk about the heavyweight champion of all productivity systems. I'm talking about getting things done, or as everyone calls it, GTD. Seriously, this is the granddaddy of them all. Pretty much every productivity app you use has been influenced by it.
The big idea behind GTD is actually pretty simple. Your brain is an idea machine. It's brilliant at having ideas, but it's a terrible office assistant. It's just not designed to remember everything you have to do. So GTD is all about getting every single task, reminder, and idea out of your head and into a system you trust, like a notebook or an app. This frees up all that mental RAM so you can actually focus on one thing at a time.
And the whole thing runs on a 5-step loop. First, you capture literally everything that has your attention. Then you clarify what each thing is. Is it actionable or not? You organize it by putting it where it belongs. You reflect on your lists regularly to keep them current. And finally, you engage by actually doing the work, confident you're working on the right thing.
And the creator, David Allen, put it perfectly here. Think about it. The more stuff you're trying to juggle in your head, the less likely you are to do any of it well. It's like having 100 tabs open in your browser. Your brain just slows down, gets stressed, and that mental clutter makes real, focused work almost impossible.
Okay, but here's the catch. As powerful as GTD is, it can feel, well, like a lot. For some people, managing all the lists and doing all the reviews can feel like a part-time job. It can be total overkill if your life isn't that complicated. So if the gold standard isn't always the answer, what is?
And this brings us to something even more fundamental. Let's zoom out from one specific system and instead look at the core principles, the things that make any system actually work.
First, we have to bust this myth right here. We get so caught up in the idea that being productive means being busy, clearing our inbox, checking off a million tiny things, but that's a trap. True productivity isn't about how much you do, it's about whether you're doing the things that actually matter. Being busy with trivial work is just a fast lane to burnout. The author Cal Newport gave us the perfect concept for this: deep work. This is the good stuff. It's when you're fully focused, no distractions, working on something challenging that creates real value. Answering emails all day? That's the opposite. That's shallow work. The goal isn't just to get things done, it's to create the space to do the deep work that really moves the needle.
And at the end of the day, it really comes down to this incredibly blunt and brilliant advice. Forget the perfect theory. Success is about execution. It's about developing the simple, powerful skill of turning your ideas into action. So how do we do that?
All right, let's get practical. Here are a couple of super simple, super powerful tools you can start using literally today to build that execution muscle.
Okay, this is the Eisenhower Matrix, and it is an absolute game changer for prioritization. You just take your messy to-do list and sort every task into one of these 4 boxes. Quadrant 1, do, is for the fires, the genuine crises. Quadrant 2, schedule. Now, this is the magic quadrant. This is your important long-term work. Quadrant 3, delegate, is for things that need to get done but not by you. And Quadrant 4, delete, is my personal favorite. These are the distractions, the time wasters. Just get them off your list.
And no matter what system you use, this right here is non-negotiable. A task on your list can't be fix dishwasher. That's a project. It's vague and easy to put off. An actionable task is call 3 repair shops for quotes. See the difference? It has to be the very next physical thing you can do. This tiny shift makes it so much easier to get started.
Now, if GTD feels like too much, try this super simple system. First, dump everything you can think of onto one big master list. Then, every morning, you just pick a few, maybe 3 to 5, of the most important tasks and move them to a separate, tiny live list for the day. And here's the rule. You only work from that short list. It protects you from the overwhelm of staring at that giant master list all day. So, we've looked at the gold standard system. We've talked about the core principles, and we've got a couple of simple tools. Now let's bring it home and talk about building a system that actually works for you.
Okay, here's the most important thing to remember. There is no one-size-fits-all perfect system. The whole point is to experiment. Try the Eisenhower matrix for a week. See if the two-list system feels good. Steal ideas, bend the rules, and cobble together something that fits your brain. But that last point, that's the one non-negotiable, the weekly review. Just taking 30 minutes once a week to look ahead and get organized is the secret glue that holds any system together.
And please remember, you do not need to schedule a whole weekend to revolutionize your entire life. That's not how this works. The path to getting control doesn't start with some huge dramatic change. It starts small. It starts with the very next thing right in front of you. Because in the end, all these systems, all these ideas, they all boil down to this simple, powerful action. Forget the perfect plan for a second and just ask yourself, what's one thing I can do right now to move forward? Don't overthink it. Make the call, send the email, open the letter. Just start.